That intro slaps.
You like that?
I do. I like that. I like it a lot.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the CheezeTalk podcast. I'm your host, Brian Rago, and tonight I'm joined by Sam, aka Mr. First Down.
I'll join with you. It's okay.
You'll join with me, whatever. Both football fans, as you can tell, he's a Tennessee Titans fan.
Guilty.
We'll be speaking tonight about the Packers and the Titans and where we think they are so far this offseason, some of the moves they have made. Get our own opinions on that. First, I want to give a shout out to the Open Network for letting me do this podcast under their umbrella. They, as of 2 minutes ago, are 30 followers away from giving away an 8x10 Jair Alexander autographed picture. Again, that's Ohana_Packers on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. You get what I'm talking about.
It's Twitter. I don't care what anybody says.
So, Sam, what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, I'm good, bud. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing fantastic. Had a nice dinner and kind of winding down the weekend. That was
not long enough.
Awkward, but I stay out of political debate, so I'm just going to leave it at that and just talk about what joins us together, sports.
Amen, brother. Let's do it. I'm always about that. What'd you eat?
I actually had a double burger. We went to a restaurant, me, the wife, and 5 kids. I had like a double burger. I had like pickled jalapenos,
yum,
onion ring, bacon, pepper jack cheese, raw red onion, and fries. It was pretty good.
Hey, it sounds delicious to me. Yeah. I had bruschetta, tons of bruschetta.
Yeah.
My wife made it. There was a family dinner the other night, and it was left over. And I was like, foolish of you to leave this in the fridge. Slowly devoured it.
Yank.
Bruschetta is the ultimate appetizer. I could probably order 8 plates of bruschetta and be perfectly happy with my life.
Right? It's all about being happy, right?
Yes, sir.
So how long have you been a Titans fan for?
Since they came in 1997.
1997, so that's 27 years.
We said we were kind of under the understanding. I remember my grandpa saying that he goes, we're small time, Sam. We're a small state. We're not going to get a football team. And he goes, we might, if things grow the way they are. We were slowly growing, but not super big. Nashville was mostly just a music scene. And then the Titans came to town, and it just skyrocketed everything. Now there's skyscrapers and all kinds of things there. But, they started the first couple of years out in Memphis, and they played at Vanderbilt Stadium in Nashville, and then finally we got their stadium up, and here they are. They're here to stay. So yeah,
for the time being, right?
Yeah, for the time being. Well, they just signed a brand new contract, and they're building the new stadium. So I think they're going to be here a little while.
It'd be crazy if all of a sudden they just upped and pulled out, but I doubt that.
I guess we should.
It's nice though to have like a smaller community,
Mm-hmm. Much like Green Bay, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean Green Bay. I mean the road that Lambeau is on is, not even a mile long. I don't think.
Oh wow!
I mean, it's. I mean, you'd have to be here to see the layout and everything. What is it's crazy? Like you're like in this, smaller city, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a big stadium.
I'll be there. I'll be there for the draft. So I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there.
Awesome. Yeah. That's right. You mentioned that, didn't you? You're going to be here for the draft. I forgot about that.
Yep. We're pretty pumped. We decided that last year was the inaugural year that we were going to go to any draft we can get our hands on. So we did Detroit, and now Green Bay's up next on the docket. Should be fun.
Where are you guys planning on staying?
We're looking at some hotels and some Airbnbs right now, but we haven't made any firm decision. Right.
I was going to say there's probably a lot of stuff that's booked out, or if it's not booked out, it's pretty expensive to stay at.
Well, as soon as they announced it, it instantly got expensive. There's no way you can escape expensive. You know what I mean? As soon as they said, "Hey, it's going to Green Bay last year," you go on the internet and it's like, "Oh, look at that!"
Yeah. Well, even like when they announce the schedules,
Mm-hmm.
the Packers, like everything's like books up like within like a half an hour.
Oh yeah,
Within
there's
like
no
I mean
there's no
everywhere.
way to win it. I had some Packers fans that wanted to come down because you guys come down to our place in September. I think week 3 or week 4, I can't remember. And I had some Packers friends that are hitting me up for tickets, and I'm like, okay, I'm a season ticket member, so I get discounts. And I looked at them, and I'm like, this is how much it is. You're still talking about a $250 ticket. And they're like, what? Why is it so expensive? I'm like, well, I don't know. You're legendary and stuff like that. It's your own team's fault for being so awesome. So now, all the prices are jacked up. So don't come crying to me.
Yeah. I'm thinking about being like an Uber driver for the draft. Just driving people around.
Right, but I get it free, right? I get it free.
No, actually, I think I'm going to have my wife drop me off wherever it's barricaded, and I'll just walk to Lambeau.
That sounds awesome. We were looking at several hotels. One of them's down the street from it. One's, I think, an exit away or something like that. We were thinking like exit away, but man, if you forget something, you have to go all the way back.
Yeah,
all the way back and all the way there.
Yeah,
so,
it's going to be. I can't even imagine. I know how it is on game day. They have like a lot of like 2-ways or 1-ways, and cops are everywhere. And yeah.
It's unreal for us.
It's so close to the main highway, though, but it runs through central Wisconsin. So it's I-41. It's like 3 blocks off of I-41 when you get off the exit. So it's like right there, but.
Yeah. It's amazing, though, because they always show drone shots or whatever. And like when we looked up parking, because we wanted to go to the game, I think 2 years ago, we wanted to go to the game up there. And there were like people's yards for parking.
Yeah.
It's not like, you come down to the Titans one. It's like you go to this one, you go to this, parking center and whatnot. Quiet computer, I'm talking. But like there's parking garages and stuff like that you go to. So it's weird to see like, hey, pull up in my front yard.
Yeah, well, there's houses right across from the stadium, up and down Lombardi Avenue that people rent out just for the games during the year.
They should. They probably make bank for it. I wish I had the cash to do it. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and they charge like $30-$40 a car to park in the yard and stuff. That's crazy.
There's a church. So down here we have a church, the First Nazarene Church of Nashville, and they offer their stuff just a little bit cheaper, and they watch your car for you and stuff. Very nice people. So they're like, so I gladly walk the mile to get to the stadium. It's not that bad. Yeah. And it's all downhill. It's just you hope you win because that walk back up is a lot more happier if you win. If you lose, you're downcast and slowly walking up. And then it rains, of course, and you're trying to make your way through.
As long as you don't have a lot of weight on. I mean, like clothes wise, jackets and sweatshirts, and rain's not bad unless you just want to have a lot of stuff getting covered in water.
Well, it's funny you say that because I wear 3 boas, 2 neck chains, and now I have a light up neck chain that I'm going to be wearing this. So, yeah, I'm pretty layered. So when it starts raining, I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Soaked to the bone.
Right.
Football coming. We're almost there.
Yeah, it's like, 8 Sundays away? Something like that? 7 Sundays away?
I believe that is correct. Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on the Titans draft this year?
I liked it. I mean, you were going to have to draft a tackle somewhere. That O-line last year was absolutely pathetic and awful. We wanted to see Will Levis, but all we saw was him getting destroyed over and over and over and over again. So you knew we were going to have to draft offensive linemen. It was so funny, like the national media. I'm sure you go through this too, where the national media doesn't really know your team. So they just put somebody up there, like they're going to draft a wide receiver and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's an offensive lineman, guys. They need protection. But it was so funny to see mock drafts with wide receivers on in the first round. I was like, I don't think so. I don't think so, Chief. It's got to be O lineman. It's not a pretty pick, but it's the necessary pick.
Well, the Packers, they got a lineman too, Jordan
Yep.
Morgan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. I have 2 dogs too.
Mm-hmm.
We knew, like everyone was saying, that kid from Iowa. I forgot his name already. That Cooper DeJean.
Oh yeah, Cooper
And it's
DeJean.
like, yeah, people are like, no, we need a tackle. We need to be someone to replace Bakhtiari, you know.
Right.
And it wasn't like a pretty pick, but it's a project pick. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And we got what we desperately need in Cooper and Javon Bullard, and we got a nice backup to Josh Jacobs at Marshawn Lloyd. We got, Kalen King, round 7, cornerback out of Penn State.
Yep.
That would have went first round last year.
Yep.
Michael Pratt out of Tulane, quarterback. That
I like Tulane.
Packers picked awesome.
Yeah.
You know, they filled their needs. They switched to the 4-3 defense. And I think they drafted a lot of safeties and they drafted some linebackers.
Well, you needed defensive help anyway, right? That
killed us last year.
Yeah. That was my understanding. I had a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth in my text chain with my Packers friends, and they were
but it is what it is. You know, we switched, got a new defensive coordinator, so hopefully he can kind of help solve some of the issues. We brought in Xavier McKinney, the free agent, and we got Javon Bullard. I think they both bring some swag along with the swag that's already in place with Jair Alexander.
Ah, yes, Mr. Alexander.
And I just think that defense is what we got to work on. And we've shown that our offense is lethal.
You expect Jordan Love to keep flourishing then?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I mean, the receivers that we have a good, solid 6 receivers. And you and I were talking off air. Who do you think number one's going to be? I think if you get Christian Watson to anywhere close to 100% healthy, his speed and how much of an athletic freak he is, I think he would be receiver number 1.
I can see that. Yeah.
Dobbs or Reed number 2. But then we have Dontavian Wicks. We have Malik Heath. We got Bull Melton. We have people that can definitely produce. So
there are some people that are really high on Wicks when I was looking stuff up. They're very high on him, and I'm still sticking with Christian Watson. Hamstrings be damned. He'll figure it out. You know?
Well, they sent him to UW-Madison in the offseason to get that all looked at and everything. And they think they kind of got to figure it out. So we'll see where he's at in preseason, and then hopefully the hamstrings stays away from Green Bay. I know they got a new conditioning and strength program. There are people that run it, you know. So hopefully they're making changes to help the team out, you know.
No, I totally get it. We have new everything as well. We fired Mike Vrabel, which I hated. But I understand that if you were going to make a move, you might as well do it when you're going to have a lot of cap space and a top 10 draft pick. So they made the move, and I have a new everything from top to bottom. I have a new everything. It's always funny because these fans, like, nobody around the league will say Mike Vrabel's a bad coach. Nobody's going to say it because they all know he is. He's had a bad luck of the draw with some bad teams. They fired the GM halfway through the year 2 years ago, and he was trying to make something out of nothing, and it just wasn't working. So I find it really funny when people are just like, all right, brand new thing, so this new toy is going to be better, right? Well, that's not always the case. Now, we hired Brian Callahan, and I hope it works out. But this is no longer a running offense. We're throwing the football this year. Yeah. We're going to throw it 60% of the time. And that's going to blow some people's minds. They're like, no, they'll still run it. I was like, no, they are not going to run it as much because, number one, King Henry's not back there anymore. And two, the running back you do have, Tajay Spears, out of Tulane, another Tulane guy, is mainly a speed guy and a catching guy. So that's the offense that's about to be run here. And I'm intrigued to see it, but boy, I'm more just hoping it works. I just hope it works.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the Packers their game plan will be. I'm sure they're going to try to split it because we have all the receivers that and plus you got Kraft and Musgrave at tight end. But then you bring in Josh Jacobs. They brought back AJ Dillon.
Mm-hmm.
I think more as like a veteran leadership role on the offense. But I think Marshawn Lloyd is going to be our second running back behind Josh Jacobs.
Makes sense.
And it's just if Marshawn Lloyd can produce in the NFL how he produced in college, it's going to be crazy running game in Green Bay, which on the other side will open up the pass game for the Packers, which will just go hand in hand. And it's just, that's quite the rebuild the Packers had. Everyone's saying, it's a rebuilding year because they lost Aaron Rodgers. Well, there wasn't too much of a rebuild, if you ask me, besides the quarterback,
If nobody likes to rebuild, as people like to say. Now, you might be rebuilding, or what I think somebody called it a soft rebuild. But like the bottom line is coaches don't want to do that. They just want to, like, even if your quarterback's deficient, they still want to carry on the season and make it work, and they will find the ways to make it work. Matt LaFleur, when he was offensive coordinator, was a master at the play action pass. He still is a master at the play action pass. It wouldn't surprise me if they get it going this year. It wouldn't surprise me if he has some tricks up his sleeve. It wouldn't surprise me if Jordan Love flourishes. But there's what we think is going to happen because we always see it in Vegas and everywhere else that these things, this is going to happen, heavy money here or whatever, and then flips on you. I think my question is, though, like looking at everything and whatever else, is when I look at the league as a whole, that who is it on the NFC side, right? It's Eagles, Cowboys, Packers, and 49ers. Oh, right. And your arch nemesis, the Detroit Lions. But I don't know. I have an eyebrow raised at the Detroit Lions. There's going to be some sort of hangover from that debacle at the end of the year. But I just kind of look at it like in the AFC, it's just the Chiefs. No one can get by them. No one can do anything with them. So, but every year it's the same article that comes out every year for the last 5 years is C.J. Stroud and the Texans the ones to overthrow the Chiefs, or are the Buffalo Bills going to overthrow the Chiefs and everything. It's always so Joe Burrow and the Bengals, are they going to overthrow the Chiefs? And they just still stand tall. So whoever it is on the NFC side, I'm like, okay, it's the Chiefs versus whoever. I don't even think about the AFC. Who it's going to be. It's going to be the Chiefs until proven otherwise. So,
yeah, I think 1-2 in the NFC this year is going to be San Fran, then Green Bay.
I like it. I like it a lot. Y'all have some unfinished business with them.
We do, and I think it's going to be. I think we're going to be run heavy, and and it's going to have the same impact, if not more, than we had when we had Aaron Jones. So
right. I mean, the 49ers are mortal. They're a mortal team. It's just people either your team shoots itself in the foot, or they just outlast you because they have better athletes. It's just how they operate. And I mean, I think we all saw the Super Bowl last year, right? Everybody in their right mind with under 2 minutes or a little over it, you go over there and you tell your team, if you're the 49ers, hey, guess what? Patrick Mahomes doesn't see the field again for the rest of the game. But then they go out there and just kind of poop the bed and then give Patrick Mahomes way too much time to take care of business. And that kind of stuff always makes me laugh. But Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers, they could be so brilliant at times and then just so not the next, especially in like the biggest moment, like just the absolute biggest moment.
Yeah, well, the Packers did beat the Chiefs last year, so we have that going for us.
Yeah, that's right. So they didn't want you. They didn't want you back there. That's what they didn't want you.
Yeah, no, the Packers. It just clicked for them at one point last year, and they went on a tear.
Right. The Cowboys game was stunning. I mean, like I was sitting in the car. Do you remember the Disney cartoon Robin Hood from back in the day?
Yeah.
A long time ago, the Weasley little prince. I was that guy.
Yeah.
I was like, kill him, like because the Cowboy. God bless them. There's just not a lot of like the only person that cares about the Cowboys are the Cowboys fans. Let's just be honest, right?
Yeah.
It's when the Cowboys are losing, everybody's just laughing at Jerry as he's crying in his box. I don't know why this is happening. It's happening, Jerry, because you destroy your team every year anyway. But it was so enjoyable watching that game, and Jordan Love and the Packers offense could do absolutely nothing wrong. They just marched all over them. But the scene of the people in that stadium was the best part. They were just losing their minds. And
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. If I was a Cowboys fan, I'm like, they go through the regular season and they just look so good, and then they get there and it's just I don't know how to explain it. They keep losing in the first round over and over and over again. It's stunning to me. Absolutely.
Well, we saw it from the same head coach here in Green Bay for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You're really good in the regular season, and then when you get to the playoffs, you poop the bed, and it was stunning to watch that game last year. I mean, that's the funny thing about
That's one of the top moments.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is the Packers have more playoff wins in Jerry World than the Cowboys do.
Oh, that just blows my mind. Oh my gosh,
that's just hilarious. And to see the reaction of Mike McCarthy it makes it even better.
Yeah, he looks like I'm dead inside. Like that's what he stares. He just stares off into the distance or whatnot. I hated seeing that whole thing with him and Rodgers the whole time. And I was like, golly, this is going to be ugly, and it was ugly all the way through. But it happens. I mean, look, these everybody always likes to make fun of the team going through it, but you won't hear it from me because I was there for the Vince Young and Jeff Fisher fight. So everybody's going to get a turn at this eventually. Donovan McNabb and Andy Reid, everybody gets a turn where the quarterback and head coach decide they don't like Brady and Belichick. Like it comes for everybody eventually.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how that works out, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's like, gosh, you guys were so successful together. What happened?
It's just like, you bring in Matt LaFleur, the offensive tree that he comes from, and then you have a successful quarterback as his quarterback that LaFleur relays in a play. You can almost guarantee this happened several times during the game. Then Rodgers audibles out of it, and you know what I'm saying? So you have Aaron change. He just changes the play during the game. But now you see Jordan Love trusting what LaFleur is telling him and trusting all of his receivers. And you can actually see the offense that LaFleur wants to run is out there on the field, and people can't stop it.
Yeah, no. You have to be on your A game. The only way you're going to stop a proficient offense is if your D-line is up to snuff. That's the only way you're going to stop it. And if your D-line isn't up to snuff, you're not going to get much. How did we win against you guys 2 years ago? Jeffrey Simmons in the middle of the defensive line. That was the only reason we won. Was it? Because we weren't going to stop you through the air because we were horrible. We might still be, but we don't know yet.
You never know.
Yeah. Watch it reverse. I won't have a good D-line, but I'll have a good secondary. And I'll be like, okay, whatever. One day I want it all, baby. I just want it all in one place.
Right. Do you have an all-time favorite Titan?
All-time favorite Titan. It has to be the great number 27, Eddie George.
Eddie George.
I have never seen a man work as hard as he did. He worked so hard. I remember he would cry when we would lose, and he'd get so mad. I remember the battles because we were in the AFC Central with the Browns and the Bengals. The Browns, the Ravens, and the Steelers. Bengals, Ravens, Steelers. I'm sorry. Bengals, Ravens, Steelers. And him and who was the linebacker for the Ravens? Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis and Eddie George. You can look up footage. It was a bloodbath. They hated each other. One time, Ray Lewis popped Eddie's shoulder out of socket, and Eddie walked over to the wall and put it back in and walked back out there on the field. And I said, they don't do that anymore. You know,
That's crazy.
Yeah, but Eddie said the only reason he was able to win the game was he was willing to die on the field to get those yards. Like that's how he played. It was so vicious. I'm surprised he's still standing. Like, to be honest. Yeah, he coaches a college down here in Tennessee now, TSU.
Okay.
University. Yeah, Eddie's a terrific guy, a great guy. Happy to have him as my number one favorite Titan. I loved the whole crowd chanting Eddie back in the day. It's hard to forget. I could still hear it.
Yeah, my favorite Packer of all time is Charles Woodson. Big time.
I bet if you thought about it, you know who my favorite Packer would be. He was with the Eagles on the defensive line, and then you guys picked him up. The minister.
Reggie White. Yeah,
Reggie White from the University of Tennessee.
Yep.
And I just remember, gosh, I don't think there's ever been a better defensive end than him. He was exquisite to watch, and I'm glad he got his championship.
Yeah, he was quite the player too. He gone too soon for sure.
Absolutely.
But, yeah,
he's a doctor if you can't sleep, ladies and gentlemen. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. His thing is, he probably didn't know he had it. You know,
probably didn't. But I mean, he had these things where he's like, I wake up and I can't breathe. I'm like, go to the doctor. Like, go.
Yeah,
I'm fine now. No, wait, stop. Go to the doctor.
Yeah. What's the most memorable game that you've witnessed?
That I've witnessed in person?
Just in person or on TV, or was it the Music City Miracle?
No, I wasn't there. I'll tell you. I'll give you two of them. Okay, for the Music City Miracle, I was in the car. I think I'm 11 or 10 at the time, and I'm crying. We've lost to the Bills. This is it. And my dad, like all fathers, like we're going to do to our kids, you know, hey, these things happen. Sometimes you just don't get it, you know, and stuff. He's consoling the poor child who's just, my dreams are just crushed. And then I hear Mike Keith, the Titans play-by-play announcer, going, there are no flags on the field. It's a miracle. It's a miracle for the Titans. And my dad turned it back up and he goes, well, after he gave me this, you know, he goes, and sometimes that happens. They had 17 seconds. I don't know how they won it. So I remember that. And then, of course, we went home and we saw the highlights on Sports Center over and over. It's crazy how nuts that play has become. Some people consider it the best special teams play ever put on there. And I'm just like, geez. And if you ever look up the history of that play, how Kevin Dyson had no idea what to do. He was almost in the wrong space at the wrong time. Frank Wycheck wasn't supposed to get the ball, but Lorenzo Neal didn't want to pass it, so he gave it to Frank. And Frank threw it. It's amazing. These three guys were like, oh, no, I don't want to do this. They did it, and it worked. So it just goes to show you how random football can be. But my favorite game, if you remember, there was this quarterback named Peyton Manning. He was in my division for a little bit, like almost 20 years of just straight mopping the floor with the Texans, the Titans, and the Jags every single year. We couldn't get him. So the times you could get him were the most memorable. And in 2008, we had the number one rushing attack in the NFL, and Kerry Collins was keeping everything steady at quarterback while Vince Young was going cuckoo, go nuts. So anyway, bad memory. Anyway, so that in 2008, they're walking in. I remember our linebacker, Keith Bullock, still love to this day. He points over there towards the Colts walking out on the field. And he says, you see them? They don't want to give us respect. We have to take our respect. because they have just whipped us again and again. And the Titans went out there and they were down, oh gosh, it was like 14-0 in the first quarter. And then all of a sudden they just started firing on all cylinders. They started running the ball. Albert Hainsworth, defensive tackle, Kyle Van de Bosch, defensive end, and Javon Curse, defensive end. They kept Peyton almost on his back or restless in the pocket all night, and we took that game. We won, and that's when we were the head of the week. We had finally beaten the Colts after all these years, and that's the one I remember because I could not believe that they had finally stuck it to him. And the implications of that game where the Titans were going to win the division for the first time in a long time. But it was nice to know I wasn't the only one because there were two other teams with us that were like, why can't we kill this man? And it's a testament to Peyton Manning's brilliance. He was a brilliant, brilliant football mind. He wasn't going to out-physical, but he would outsmart you every single time. That was his game.
And that's going to win every single time, too.
Yeah.
When you can't, when you outsmart the opponent,
Yeah. Well, he said, I think in his retirement speech, he goes, there were always people that could out-physical me and out-hit me and outwork me, but no one could outsmart me. And he was 100% right. Now, it didn't always work, but, I mean, like, we're talking he could barely throw the ball in Denver, and he still got a Super Bowl out of it.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see that. And, that's one reason we watch. We want to see these guys do it, Not as cool as Aaron Rodgers throwing multiple Hail Marys in one season. That, sir, was crazy.
That game in Detroit.
Yeah.
That was that game, and then it was against
Arizona.
Yeah. You had that one was it Jeff Janis?
Yeah.
And the one in Detroit was Richard Rodgers. But, yeah, that was crazy. Like, I don't think I've ever jumped that high off the ground in my life.
We sat there. And we're like eating dinner at that time. And we'll all look up at the screen and they're like, that's 2 Hail Marys in one season. And we're just like, God dang it. There's no one's going to stop him but we had said it multiple times. If Aaron Rodgers is on, you're not going to win. Like he won't be stopped. The light switch is on. He's going to win. That's just all there is to it.
Right. Yeah. Like I say in all my podcasts, I'm thankful for what he did. I'm just glad that we've moved on.
Yeah. There comes a time when the party has to be over. And it could be too soon or it could be too late. Or it could be at the right time. Most of the time, it's too late because people want to hold on to these people and make it work. The Saints obviously had no answer after Drew Brees was gone. They had zero answer.
Right.
And I get it. He's a legendary Hall of Famer guy. But I think what we're seeing now in the way the league is set up, the quarterback market is so bad in the league right now. It's bad, right? You got guys like Jacoby Brissett that are making top dollar because they can manage a football game because there's not a lot of people out there. So what do? You draft somebody and try to make it work. You guys drafted Jordan Love. You are doing your best to make it work. You can't just keep relying on guys like the Colts did with Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan. It didn't work.
Right.
You have to take the plunge. It's scary. I get it. If you're wrong, you've set your team back 3 years. But history has shown in football and in other areas of life as well that fortune favors the bold. You got to take the dive. Somebody's going to do it. I don't know if Will Levis is the answer in Tennessee. We're going to find out. That's just how it is. That's how it works.
Speaking of setting franchises back 3 years, what do you think about the Bears drafting Caleb Williams?
Oh boy. I cannot wait to put that in a loss column in week 1. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. The Bears have just had a horrible time. They have had a horrible time. Partly their fault. Another part is just rotten luck. They come out there with Caleb Williams. Our defensive tackle was on the Rich Eisen show, Jeffrey Simmons, and he says, I can't wait to smash those painted nails that he has.
Well, the thing I don't get, okay, I'm a huge Wisconsin Badgers fan, so I've seen Ohio State quarterbacks in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is the one that going pro that I've been most not afraid, but like most worried about playing.
Mm-hmm.
He has all the attributes you need to be a successtional quarterback.
Yeah,
right?
you just need somebody to cultivate it.
And so you bring in DJ Moore, you get Keenan Allen. You're on pace. You're getting the first pick of the draft. You can bring in Marvin Harrison Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you trade the quarterback. It's like you're punishing the quarterback because your offensive staff couldn't do
Figure it
anything
out.
for him. So
Right.
instead of getting rid of the root of the problem, the coaching staff, you get rid of the player.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I hope he goes to Pittsburgh and just lights it up. Just
Yeah,
shove it right in the Bears' face.
Wouldn't that just be poetic justice?
And then Caleb Williams doing nothing, being a nobody.
I got him week 1, so I will do my best to smack him around for you.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, why don't you go after the coaches that underproduce with them? You know what I'm saying?
So here's what I think. I think Eberflus got up there and he says, it's not my fault. It's this offensive staff we've assembled. Like, it'll be better. Trust me. Everything will be better. It feels just like a typical coach job of, I want to keep my job, so I'll make this move to make it look like I'm trying to do something. I don't think Eberflus has done anything as a head coach. I don't think he's good enough as a head coach. And now he gets first year at a rookie quarterback trying to make it work. That's just – it's like they're just trying to force things there.
And it's like, good luck throwing the ball to these weapons when you're going to be on your back within a matter of 3 seconds, you know? And I just don't see it being successful, especially, I mean, you look at the Packers over the last 30 years, what they've done at quarterback. They've drafted their guy and then let them sit for 4 or 5 years.
It's a rarity. You don't do that.
You don't throw them in the fire and let them give him nothing to work with his first game, first year in the league. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to hurt Caleb Williams big time, you know?
I think so, too. I feel bad for the kid. I'd be curious. I'll be watching Mr. Fields as well because more than likely Russell Wilson's going to start for Pittsburgh. We'll see how long they can put up with it until he gets his chance. But you see people like Eberflus did that with the Bears. Doug Peterson did it with the Jaguars as well. He fired everyone on his offensive staff. And it feels just one of those like last ditch effort. Like, hey, it's, you know, everything will be fine after I get rid of all these people, you know? And it's just like, boy, that just reeks like something terrible is about to happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like LaFleur, I mean, they got rid of Joe Barry. They got rid of, and they brought in that Rich, that I can't even pronounce his last name, from the Raiders, special teams coordinator.
Okay.
He's like an assistant coach. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't know. It's LaFleur. I think LaFleur is a hell of a coach. I really do. He's
a sharp-minded guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a super nice dude too. I've gotten the chance to talk to him a few times.
That's awesome.
I coached his youngest kid in basketball a couple years ago.
Oh, so cool!
I got a chance to, because I'm right outside of Green Bay up here, so
right.
Yeah, but yeah, super nice family. But I just think
here in Tennessee, he was obviously a very sharp individual.
Well, yeah, and you can tell that here. He's like very attention to detail, and you know, it's just players love playing for him. Yeah. You know, he's not some 80-year-old guy that's walking the sidelines and no one can relate to. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I think too, with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, being the age difference with a lot of the players in the locker room, people felt like they were walking on eggshells with him.
Yeah.
Like, well, I better do this right or I'm not going to get the ball. Well, if you don't get the ball and you don't produce, guess what? You don't get money. I got to get money. So they're trying to do the right thing. They didn't want to be that odd man out and have all the darts thrown at them. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think this last year was a glimpse of what we're going to see in the future, and it's good. You know what I'm saying? It's a positive for the Packers, and I'm glad we are where we are. I guess
you do have one of my I have a soft spot in my heart for Clifford on your quarterback depth.
You might be the third string quarterback.
I know. I love the guy. I thought he did great in college, and everybody mocked me. And I said, Packers got a real winner there. Shut up, Sam. You know.
Yeah. Now he might be the practice squad quarterback.
Oh man, poor Sean. Oh man,
I
you gotta
think
do something.
I think Pratt's going to be the second string
Is he
quarterback.
really? Wow, goodness, poor Clifford.
But even with Clifford, I saw him in the preseason last year, and in games he came in, he drops back, he makes his read, he throws a nice ball, and he gets the ball. I mean, he has a football mind for sure. He's,
Right.
you know,
I kind of looked at him and said when he was in college, I think it was for the Pitney Lions, and he I don't know. I loved his pocket presence. He got the ball out nice and clean. I was like, hey, I like the kid. Or
I didn't
whatever.
like him because I'm a Badger fan. So only exception I make
we're
is it was liking when Woodson played for the Wolverines, and obviously I was a Badger fan, but watching him play defense and special teams and he's playing receiver at sometimes for Michigan. He played the game the way it should be played.
Absolutely.
And I'll admit, obviously I'm a huge cheese head, but I do have a Charles Woodson Raiders jersey that's back from when they went to the Super Bowl against the Buccaneers back in 2003 or whatever it was. But yeah, I like Woodson a lot. He just played the game the way it's supposed to be played,
Yeah. So. No, he played it to its core, right? I mean, look, you're talking to the guy had to deal with Derrick Henry being from Alabama. You know how annoying it is to hear Roll Tide roll in your professional football stadium? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Alabama in the SEC, the Alabama fans are very entitled. Let's just say that.
So do you think with Saban leaving, that's going to change a little bit?
I think they're going to struggle a little bit. I don't think they're going to just fall off the deep end or anything like that. But I do think they're going to struggle because this guy, he's no Nick Saban. He's a successful coach. I don't think he's a bad coach or anything. But there's always a changeover when you make a coaching change, right? Sometimes it's for the better, sometimes for the worse. And I think they're going to be a little bad. I think they're going to lose probably 4 somewhere, and somebody's going to smack them in the mouth that we weren't expecting, like an Arkansas or a Southern Miss or Ole Miss or something. Ole Miss always gives Alabama trouble for whatever reason. Ole Miss could lose every game in its season, but somehow beat Alabama.
The one win is against Alabama.
Yeah, no joke. If you look at them, they always have trouble, and they'll win. They'll beat Ole Miss, but it'll be by like a field goal or 1 point. Auburn and Ole Miss give them the most trouble. We're not sure why. We think there's some voodoo magic or something going on because you could look at each depth chart and say Alabama's going to destroy that team, and then here comes Ole Miss, and it's like, wow, they just put 14 on them. What's going on? Yeah. And then there's a couple of years where Ole Miss got them for no reason whatsoever. So it's just, we all have those teams, right? There's always the teams that know how to needle you or whatever. For example, Jeff Fisher never lost to Tom Coughlin. He always beat him every single time. Coughlin, Jeff Fisher never beat it was the head coach for the Chargers. I can't remember his name. He had a weird name. Oh, man. In the 2000s. It bothers me. Norv Turner. He could not beat Norv Turner no matter what he did. We could have the far superior team. Couldn't beat him. So there's always these coaches whose philosophy always somehow trumps the other one. It's that way in college. It's that way in the NFL. There's just some people you can't beat. Right.
Well, the Bears can't beat the Packers.
No, they can't. No matter if they have a better team or not. I remember the one-legged Aaron Rodgers game. I remember it because I was sitting there like, if they were going to beat the Packers, now would be the time. And they still didn't win. It was, oh, man, unbelievable.
You could tell at the end of the game, the interview with Aaron Rodgers, he was on some good stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, they were launching that guy. There was a bunch of hot needles in a bag somewhere. Just –
I think they've won 10
sideways,
They've won 10 straight against the Bears.
It's just a minor strain on his foot.
I have this stat somewhere written down where Aaron Rodgers' record against the Bears and his stats and Brett Favre's, and it's just crazy how we've owned the Bears the last 30 I don't know,
They've
30,
done
40 years.
something. The Bears have done something wrong. Maybe somebody peed on a Aztec temple while in Mexico or something. Something has happened to the Bears. They cannot beat the cheese. They just can't do it. Do you fear? I have to ask you this because I don't get a chance to talk to a lot of you people up here. Do you fear the Detroit Lions? Like, do you see? No. Okay.
No. They beat us in Green Bay. We beat them in Detroit. You know?
Yeah, I see them, and I just see a team that is talented. To be sure, they're talented, but they seem to have trouble pulling the trigger when they need to do it. And like, it seems like if they come out and they get a lead, they'll just be fine. But if they don't get a lead and they have to fight for it, it turns into a boxing match. Then they struggle. It's really interesting.
Yeah, no, I really don't. No, I don't really fear. I mean, I know they've had a number the last few years, but it is what it is. You know, you can't win them all.
No,
I'd rather lose to the Lions than lose to the Bears, I guess.
You're in a good space. Trust me. I'm in the AFC South, so it's whoever can somebody beat Houston. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Us and the Colts and the Jags are all looking at each other. You want to do it? You want to do it?
It's like that Spider-Man meme, or it's all Spider-Man.
Yeah, they're all three pointing at each other. Yeah, exactly. Like who's gonna? You want to do it? You okay? You know. So should be interesting.
Right now, do I have you on later on? Don't I?
Yeah, we get to do it again. I have to go through my phone and check it.
Yeah, I'd have to check too because I was thinking about maybe making this like a two-part.
Oh, I'm in. I have to wear a different shirt.
That's fine.
I'll wear the neon glowing necklace so you can't see my face. It's just bright light all in your eyes the entire time.
July 21st.
Okay.
But did you want to? That cool if we wrap this one up and then we'll continue on July 21st?
Whatever you mean.
Last question for you though before we go. What's your favorite kind of cheese?
My favorite kind of what?
Cheese.
Oh, dude, Lacy Swiss all day.
Okay.
Lacy Swiss all day. Love
I'm going with ghost pepper cheese.
Ghost pepper's up there. Munster's up there too. Man, everybody has their cheese. I'll go Lacy Swiss because I love putting it on a nice BLT sandwich.
Yeah,
it just goes so well. Yeah, I'll go with a nice Lacy Swiss.
Yeah, and by the way, I did post a picture of what I had for dinner on Twitter, so you have to go on my profile and look for it.
Oh, like 100. I'm gonna unlike it and like it a bunch of times. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Woo, man, goodness. Anyway, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for being on. Well, this is part one. We'll do part two on July 21st. Again, where can people find you at?
People can find me on Twitter at Mr. First Down Says So. Well, there it is. On my name right there. You can find me on the LTS show. We go live every Monday and Thursday. Monday, we're going to be talking some because we're all sports, so we get to cover tennis and hockey and baseball. But last week on Thursday, we had the AFC West last week, and we all expect the Chiefs to win. Go figure. And now we'll have the NFC West this week. Okay. So I imagine we'll see how high the Rams are on everybody's list, and we'll go through it and everything. So you can catch us at 8 p.m. Central on the Let's Talk Sports Network. The link's in my Twitter and all that stuff. And I share it all the time in our chats. So I'm like, do it, share it now. Anyway. But, and I also have if anybody's into wrestling, I have a wrestling show on the LTS Network. Whoa. Is that the girl from The Ring? That was terrifying. Anyway.
That's my 7-year-old.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Hi. So we do that. If you're into wrestling, we go live every Tuesday and Friday at 8 p.m. Central, also on the Let's Talk Sports Network. If you need anything, like we have multiple shows on the Let's Talk Sports Network. So if you ever want to watch it, come on. We got tons of stuff, even for Pittsburgh Steelers fans.
Who are they?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. They wave a towel in the air, dude.
Terrible towel. It's a terrible idea.
I'm going to grab a fork and go and just wave it. It's a terrible fork. It's awful.
Right on. Well, again, Sam, I appreciate it. We'll continue this chat in a week or so, and
sure.
We'll continue part two. And maybe we'll have you on in the future past that. And once the season starts, we'll get you on whenever you're free.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me on the week before we play each other. so I can just look daggers into your eyes the whole time.
And we'll get you on before, and we'll get you on after.
Hey, I'll do it. I'm down. Unless I lose, then I'm going to be sick.
All right.
Don't feel good.
All right. Well, again, thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. Have a good night, buddy.
You too, bud. See you later.
Yep. See ya.